Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is get your paper and then get something to hold in your hand to make this a little more interesting. So I'm going to be holding a pen and I'm just trying different postures where I see a lot of lines. And then you're going to begin this drawing the same way you began the pure contour drawing. So I'm slowly going to look at my hand and just as my gaze moves along the edge of my thumb, I'm making the same line work with my hand. This time I can look back at my drawing to see what's going on and where to start again, but I'm just slowly going to move and draw as my eye looks at things. But I can look at my drawing and judge like how much space in between the lines is necessary. And then we want to just keep working in the same area and slowly move from that area. So I'm drawing, it's hard to see from this angle. When I look at from my actual angle, I see it a little different than the camera. So I can see a little more of the pen. And then now that I'm done with that pen, I'm going to move to that next finger that's cradling or circling around the pen. And then go back to my thumb where it touches that finger. So I'm just slowly going to move. And the trick here is I'm just trying to see the edges of my fingers as lines. And anything else I see. So like my nail just becomes lines, it becomes shapes really. And I'm just trying to put down those shapes as accurately as I can. So I can look like the shape in between my fingers or the shape of my nail and just try to put that as I see it. For those that are a little advanced, I can also change like how light or how dark I'm drawing something. But we just slowly want to go and just be patient with yourself. We have a lot of time. I'm going to do this pretty quickly, but you can be constantly erasing, trying again. You have as long as you want. It will take most people about 30 minutes to do this drawing. And again, the trick is just to work slowly and work from like one finger to the next finger, finish that finger, then work down to the next finger. Now I'm going back to my thumb to try to get that a little better. And I'm just trying to see these as lines. Just like the pure contour, I'm looking at my fingers as a series of lines and trying to put those lines down. Honestly, that's what we always do when we draw realistically. It's a contradiction and it doesn't make sense, but the best way to draw something realistically is to forget what we're drawing and try to see it as a series of lines. When we add in shading, we're just going to see it as patches of light and dark. The best way to draw is to just completely forget and not pay attention to what we're drawing in a way, except we say to see abstractly, to see it as a series of lines or an area of light and shadow. And for some reason, if you can do that well, will make the best drawings or the tightest realism if you can do that. It's kind of counterintuitive, but it will be happening all throughout this semester. So this is just our first or really our second drawing where we're paying really close attention and we're just trying to forget what we're doing, but instead see it as a series of lines. So I moved from one finger and now I'm going down to my pinky finger. And where I see lines on my fingers, I include them on my drawings because that helps out. I try to make the lines, the outline edges of my fingers darker and those inside wrinkles a little lighter. Your viewer will notice what you make light and what you make dark. So if the line is important, like the whole outline of a finger, I make that line darker. If it's just a little wrinkle, that's not so important. So I make that lighter. But again, draw what you're at. If I'm like what I'm talking about is way too advanced for you, just concentrate on getting the outlines correct. And then it's also forgivable, right? So any mistakes I make, it's not a big deal. I can just go back and erase them. Again, I'm just trying to see this as space. So I'm trying to look from the end of my pinky to the edge of my hand. How much space is there? The more lines I have on the page, the easier it is to correct what I have. A blank white page is difficult to deal with. So now that I have lines, I'm going to go back and kind of add in a few more. Like extend that line, that wrinkle from my thumb. If I extend that down, it'll kind of break up that space below my fingers. And if I add some wrinkles here, it'll also help me kind of lower that, or like make that space, that blank space, smaller. Okay, and that's basically the drawing. You guys want to try to do something similar now. Again, just be patient with yourselves. Thank you.